In this video, we're going to take a quick look at the Maven Resources plugin. So I'm going to come over here to the Maven window, and we can see that we have just a couple goals here. We have copy resources, obviously help resources, and test resources. And what do we mean by a resource? Now, by default, in the Maven standard directory layout, it's going to be looking under source main resources for our normal resources. And right now in our demo project, I don't have anything under the test folder. But if I had test resources, that's what test resources would pick up. And we can see when I run this resources, we can see that it copies over one resource. And that's copying the files under resources into target. And we can see that it copies it into the classes directory, which ultimately will get shuttled into a jar for us. So in that case, I don't think if I run package, I think it'll pick up everything. Yeah, so there it ran everything. And now we can see that application properties was included in there. So that is a resource that's being included by the resource plugin. Now the configuration of this, there's not a lot to do. I'm going to toggle over to Chrome and take a look at the documentation here. So this is the official Apache Maven documentation on the resources plugin. And we can come through here. One good thing is to look at some of the examples. A good one is these specifying resource directories. This is probably the most likely use case that you will have. So it does show you, here's the Maven standard directory layout. So it's going under source main resources. We can add in a resource directory here. So this will override the default. But down here, you can see you can actually set up multiple resource directories. So this is a handy tool. I've never really had a need for it. If you get into a complex web project where you have different artifacts being generated, especially if in today's age of using a lot of the JavaScript libraries that generate stuff all over the place, so to speak. Yeah, you might have a use case for that if you're trying to bring things together into a single deployable artifact, especially when you have a distributed team like that. If you're using like React or Angular or something like that, it could be a good case for that. As far as doing some of this, you can do filtering, excluding it, including files and directories. So a lot of capabilities here. One thing you can even do is character encoding. There's some weird edge cases where you might have to do something like that. Just be aware of the capabilities of this plugin. It's really all about moving artifacts or resources around, basically non-class files, non-source code files is what this is going to be handling. So it's going to be doing like JavaScript files, CSS files, images, whatever you need for a website. So a lot of different things that it could be handling as far as project resources. And personally, I can't remember a specific time that I had to go in and configure the resources plugin. So, but the capability is there. I want to make you aware of it. If there was more use cases for it, I'd be going into further detail and doing that. But for the purposes of this course, I think having awareness, if you need it, it is there, where you can do a lot of handling of different project resources.